All right, so we're going to rate all 50 states. And I guess the District of Columbia as well. So 50 states in D.C. And I have here, I've altered the standards a little bit because, you know, there's really no great U.S. states in my opinion. So the highest ranking on this board is tolerable. Then under that is almost tolerable. Then under that is mostly terrible. Then under that is total trash. Then under that is just nuke it. Just get rid of it. It's not doing anyone any favors. So just nuke it into oblivion. Yeah, and we can just go ahead and save any suspense by just putting Texas in the nuke it category. Because we all know, I've said it countless times, if we could create a nuclear bomb that could detonate in the exact size and shape of Texas, we would use it. And we should. And if you're one of these Texas people out there watching right now, well, what about your state? Yeah, you're right. My state also sucks. But you know what? I don't have a big old boner for it like all you weird Texas do. Your state sucks, but you're somehow brainwashed into thinking it's good. That's the problem with you fuckers. If you could just, if the attitude of Texas is, yeah, we do suck, what you gonna do? Then you wouldn't be in the nuke it category. You would be in the total trash, or maybe even up to mostly terrible. You could be just mostly terrible, but because of your conceit, because of your delusions of grandeur that have told you that Texas is something to fucking brag about or boast about or act like it's all that, it's that hubris that has put you in the nuke it category, just so you know. Just so you know. Hey, if you like this clip, you might like the full stream, which I do every Sunday, more or less, over on the Pessimist Productions Patreon, link down below. Thank you kindly. Alabama. I've lived in the state of Alabama before. I can tell you, it's a mostly terrible state, but there are a few, there are a few things here and there that are all right. There's some parts of Alabama ain't too bad. So I'm putting it here. Putting it mostly terrible. Because there are a few little redemptive nuggets here and there around Alabama, okay? Alaska. Mostly a shitty state, but very beautiful. A lot of beautiful scenic stuff there. A lot of very independent-minded voters there. Don't necessarily go with what the mainstream parties in the continental U.S. say. They're kind of, you know, they kind of think outside the box for Americans because they are outside the box. You think of the continental, you know, the 50 states or the 48 states that are, you know, all connected. You got Alaska and Hawaii as the freak states. And that kind of, I think, gives them a little bit of an offbeat thing that puts them up a few notches. So I'm going to put it mostly terrible. Arizona. Human beings should not even be living in Arizona. Arizona shouldn't even exist. It's total trash. There's no reason to nuke it. People should just leave. It's already a fucking wasteland. Arkansas. Trash. Total trash. Just garbage ass fucking state. I mean, who's there? Who's the governor? Huckabee? Sarah Huckabee Sanders? That fat fucking demon toad is the governor of Arkansas? Fuck that trash. California, hey. I put this in the almost tolerable category. There's a lot of nice stuff. Got a nice climate in a lot of California. Got beaches. Those are nice. Got a lot of stuff to do. A lot of different food to eat. A lot of different attractions. Also, a lot of bad stuff about California. Rampant freaking homelessness. Out of control prices. Corporate freaking hellhole in a lot of ways. But still almost tolerable because there's just a lot of nice stuff there too. Colorado, been there. Thought about moving there. Didn't quite resonate with me. But I'd still put it in the almost tolerable category. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of scenic beauty. A lot of problems though too. A lot of drug addicts walking around on the streets. Needles hanging out of their arms and shit. A lot of homelessness. A lot of Christian fundamentalist weirdos in some parts of that state too. Not too bad, though. far as states goes. Connecticut, I don't know a damn thing about. I'm just going to assume it's mostly terrible. Doesn't seem too bad. Doesn't seem too good. Delaware, the only thing I really know about Delaware is Joe Biden and the Wayne's World joke around Delaware. So I'm assuming it's total trash. District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Obviously a cesspit. But I feel like if I put it in just nuke it, I might get a terrorism charge. So let's just put it in total trash, shall we? Florida, nuke. Nuke that shit. And better yet, don't even bother nuking it. Just do like Bugs Bunny did. Saw that motherfucker off of the United States and let it drift out to sea, all right? Just let it drift away. Let it go bye-bye. Let it become the island republic of Florida. Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know. It's southern states. It's probably just trash. Hawaii, never been there. But, you know, it's an island, right? I mean, you know, they got beautiful beaches. They got a lot of tourist bullshit. Hula girls. Hello. Yeah, you know, seems cool. I'd imagine it's at least nice to visit. I'll say almost tolerable. Idaho, trash. Illinois, trash. Cold, frigid nightmare hellscape. Illinois. Indiana, trash. All these I states are trash. Iowa, too. Iowa gave us Slipknot. That's it. Kansas. There's nothing in Kansas. No point in even nuking it. There's already nothing there. There's nothing to destroy. Kentucky. Yeah, total trash. Been through there many a time. Maine. I mean, Maine gave us Stephen King. And, you know, everything I know about Maine pretty much comes from Stephen King. I'm going to say it's mostly terrible, but I'm going to give it a bump just for Stephen King being there. Louisiana, nuke that son of a bitch. Nuke the boot. My family comes from Louisiana, okay? If they nuke Louisiana, my family will die. But I'm willing to make that sacrifice just to spare the nation from the fucking stinky boot. The stinky boot's gotta go. Maryland. Don't know shit about Maryland. Couldn't tell you a fact about Maryland. If you put a gun to my head, I'm going to assume it's mostly terrible. Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Seems mostly terrible. I don't know. Don't know much. Michigan. Michigan is... I lived near Michigan. Don't know much about Michigan. Seemed pretty garbage. Put it in total trash. Minnesota. Literally don't know anything about it, except for I do know that they say Minnesota, which is kind of fun, so I'm going to put it in mostly terrible. Mississippi. Nuke that shit. Scour the earth. Missouri. Nuke it. Gone. Scour the earth. Montana. Mostly terrible. Some scenic beauty. Some pretty fucking painted desert bullshit. But ultimately, frigid, cold nightmare hellscape. Nebraska, whatever. Total trash. Nevada got Vegas in it, which makes it pretty much almost tolerable. I don't know what the rest of that state, but I do love Viva Las Vegas. Viva, Viva Las Vegas. So, almost tolerable. Almost tolerable, baby. New Hampshire. I don't know. Probably trash. New Jersey. I mean, The Sopranos was New Jersey, right? Sopranos was New Jersey. I know they got a lot of regulations and shit there. A lot of weird regulations and laws that make life more difficult for people. But I don't give a shit. Tony Soprano. How am I going to I can't show Tony disrespect. New Mexico. I liked New Mexico. It was pretty fun. No, it's not. It's not tolerable. It's almost tolerable. New York, it's a hell of a town. I've never really been much to New York. I went to New York one time. I spent a day in the state. I've never been to NYC. Hoping that'll change this year or next year. Hopefully this year. So I'm going to say, based on what I know about it, it's mostly terrible, but maybe the city will change my mind. Maybe when I go to NYC, I'll boost it up a level to almost tolerable. North Carolina, baby. Terrible place. I've never been there, but I just know. North Dakota, also shit. Ohio. You know, Ohio just deserves its own category. Ohio doesn't even deserve a ranking. It's just Ohio. What are you going to do with it? You know what I mean? Oklahoma. Trash, right? Oregon. I'd say it's one of those places that's almost tolerable to be at. Pennsylvania, don't really know. I'm going to say that it's mostly terrible based on the general region. Rhode Island, probably mostly terrible. South Carolina, probably total trash. South Dakota, probably total trash. Tennessee, I've been to some places in Tennessee. Now, Tennessee is a very conservative state in a lot of ways, but it's also a pretty fun state in a lot of ways. I'm going to say it's not total trash. I'm going to say it's just mostly terrible. Utah. That's where all the Mormons are, so that's trash. Mormons. Vermont, I mean, that's where Bernie Sanders from. Even though he's a kind of a pussy, I'm gonna still assume that any state that would elect a guy that far left is probably pretty cool. Virginia, that's trash. Washington State, I love Washington State. I'm gonna put it in almost tolerable. West Virginia, baby, that's even more trash. That might be nuke territory. Virginia is total trash, but West Virginia, that's nuke territory, right? Wisconsin, don't know about it. I'm going to assume it's mostly terrible. And then Wyoming. It's a beautiful nature in Wyoming. I don't know. Do human beings even live in Wyoming? Not really. Not many. Like a couple 100,000, like 500,000 people live in the whole state. That sounds pretty good, actually. I'm going to say it's probably almost tolerable because there's barely anyone in there. It's pretty, and there's not many people. Sounds pretty good. So there you go. There's my list. Nothing made it to tolerable because, come on, it's me. Almost tolerable includes California, Colorado, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, and Wyoming. And the rest of it's all pretty much dog shit to different degrees. But the states that definitely just need to be nuked to oblivion are Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, and West Virginia. Those just got to go. Okay? Those just have to go. We need to prune them. We need to purge them. You know, we need to eliminate the weakness that they represent, all right?